Okay, so for this project, we primed the canvas in Burnt Umber, traced the drawing, and this is the reference. We're going to start with the inside. You see here it's really dark inside, but we're not going to leave that the way it is. We're going to change it into something a little bit more interesting. So I have here Burnt Umber, Raw Sienna, Naples Yellow, Titanium White, and Titanium Buff. So I'm going to start with the dark color, Burnt Umber, and I'm going to kind of put a bit of Raw Sienna in that Burnt Umber. Let's kind of give it a hint of something happening in there. I'm going in. I'm going to take a little bit more Burnt Umber for the top part. Kind of darker. And just work around this chandelier. It doesn't have to, because by the time we put color around this chandelier, or I mean light on this chandelier, we're not gonna see any of this if the background of the chandelier is not dark enough. It doesn't matter. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of the raw sienna with a bit of burnt umber. Just spread this color around here. Now, around this chandelier, we're going to put a bit of more raw sienna. And away from the chandelier, especially the top part, especially here, burnt umber. That gives the impression that the chandelier is on and it's giving a soft light inside without making the background looks too close, with keeping the background in the back. Because the more detail and the more information you put, the more the background will advance. We don't want that. We want a hint of something happening. This is, I think, too dark here. Let me. Okay. I like personally to add some orange in there, but for now, let's just work on this, and then we'll take it. We'll see what we're gonna do after, what we want to add. Let's go back again to burnt umber and raw sienna, and just continue. Push down. And then once we get to the bottom part, let's put burnt umber again. At this point, I'm going to take a round brush and put burnt umber on the round brush. And create a hint of something in the back. Or a flat brush, whatever works for you. It could be a door, it could be a frame. Just kind of to give it an interesting look, so it's not just flat background behind her. Let's give this. I'm just softening a bit the harsh lines. And because acrylic, I always do that. I go back and soften a bit because acrylic dries darker. So sometimes you put the highlight, you go back, and once it's dry, you go back and you find that it's not. It's a bit too dark or too harsh, or okay. Same brush I'm using. I'm going to take a little bit of titanium buff, and I will stop in a minute. I will give you time to do this. I'm trying to keep whatever is around her face dark. So when we draw the face or paint the face, then we will get a nice glow. We will see her. So we don't need to put too much or do too much for the face. And we're going to do very soft kind of features. Okay. We'll move on after this. We'll move on to the chandelier. I'm going to let this dry and see how it goes. I'm just softening a bit. Some harsh lines. I will pause for a minute and come back. Right, for the chandelier. I have a hint of a chandelier right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's take a bit of the raw sienna and put in that raw sienna some titanium buff. And give this chandelier a hint of something happening. All right, so kind of like dots. Okay, as kind of as if you're sketching. Round brush. And now I'm going to do this. And it doesn't really have to be exactly the same. It's a hint of something, a hint of those crystals. And some of them will be strong, kind of some faint. Always starting from the top, bottom, straight down. Another one here. This is just titanium buff and a bit of raw sienna. Okay, these are the 3 ones that we had on the side. 1, center, side. And we're going to do the same with these ones here. 1, 2. It's like brick, you know how they overlap. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A little bit of that 4th one. Add a bit of water to your paint. First of all, it will slide better. The brush will slide better, and also it won't be heavy. The paint will not be heavy, so you will have some transparency. Again, I'm going to connect these this way. And I'm going to connect the ones in the back as well. Kind of. A hint. I do have, my paint is watery. It's not heavy. Dots here, dot there. Another dot. The rest is going to be like dots. And here I'm going to have something like a little teardrop at the bottom. And this is this is without having yet, we haven't put yet the halo of the light, which I'm doing right now around those bulbs. So again, the halo is very easy. It's the same color with water, with kind of a transparent transparency. I'll do this, dot on top for the light, dot, and then I'm going to kind of give it a bit of a halo. And you'll see in a minute, we're going to add a little bit of a, after we finish putting the halo around. Is that called halo? Halo? What is it called? Yeah? Yeah? It's okay? It's okay to say halo?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an angel, right?
Yeah. So now that I have kind of a nice kind of, you know, an effect of light, what I need with this is glitter. So to do this, I'm going to take white, put it in the same mixture of titanium buff, and again, kind of the same idea, because white is going to be really strong. We're going to do kind of here and there, because the glitter, usually light, doesn't hit the same everywhere. And we can also give it kind of different colors, but there's no need. We're not painting a chandelier. We are painting a hint of a chandelier. And that's it. We're not doing more than that. It's already, this is really a lot. I'm going to pause and then we'll do the curtain. All right, so after we finish doing the chandelier, we are going to paint the curtains. So the curtains, I'm going to keep them kind of soft, not a specific color, a color that will go with brown. And I put masking tape around so I can put the paint easily here without making a mess. And I'm going to use just for now raw sienna. That's it. And we're just going to go like this. It helps that there's brown behind that. The priming was done in brown, and the paint is kind of more like a glaze. It's not thick. It looks like sheer. And if I need to do more, I can do more. But really, I don't want to do more. That's enough. It's just a hint.
You use a round or a flat brush for that?
Flat, and I used the corner. Okay. At first I did kind of, it's not a big one. It's kind of, yeah. And I used the corner. I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to resist the urge of putting highlights in there because I really don't need to put highlights. This is right there. Look, that's it. Done.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to fix this a bit, and that's it. Leave it just the way it is. And let's work on this part once you're done with the curtain, the window, inside window. Meanwhile, I'm just going to go in here and put some yellow in there a bit. This yellow is just the I'm glazing with raw sienna. I'm just pushing it back a bit because it's coming forward a lot. It's it's too white. I'm keeping a couple of these dots white, but I'm adding some yellow as well. Yellow meaning raw sienna. And I darkened the top of this chandelier with a bit of burnt umber at the top. The rest is yellow. That looks much better. I pushed it back and I kept some of the glitter showing through the white. But I pushed back the whole thing, the whole chandelier.
You traced down too many lines for the curtains, so I'm going to get rid of them. That wasn't going to work. Too dark, black lines.
You have too many. Sorry,
I've got heavy black lines where the folds of the curtain are, so when it's showing through the glaze of paint, so I'm just going to take it off. I'll do it later when it's dry again.
Okay.
Just
yeah, you don't need.
I put the black on there to put up the ends, which I didn't need when I was tracing.
Yeah, you don't need a lot. I'm going to pause, and then we are going to put more masking tape on this part of the window to protect the chandelier on this side, so we can paint the window. All right, now for this part, we're going to paint the window frame. And the top part of the window frame, it's going to be, I'm just going to use burnt umber and raw sienna with a bit of titanium buff. But at first, what we're going to do is take burnt umber and a bit of burnt umber and raw sienna. And we want this part to be dark, the upper part, as if it's kind of hidden. It doesn't matter what. Paint the whole thing if you want, just like that. Doesn't have to show. But then after this part that is dark, we are going to start adding more of the raw sienna in our burnt umber. And just go down. Again, it's going to be a hint of a wooden. It's not something that we need to highlight. I'm using a round brush, but you are welcome to use any brush you like that works. Usually the part of the window that is closer to the light is lighter, and the one that's inside is darker. So now I have a good kind of line in here. And I'm going to put one right here as well, like this. I'm going to take a little bit of titanium buff, put it in here, and paint this part lighter. it doesn't matter what it is and why I'm doing this. I will explain why I'm doing this, but it doesn't have to look like it you know, the reason that's it doesn't have to show much. This is because the side of the window, the side of the frame is the window is open, so you will see the side of the frame. This is the frame right here. All of this is the frame. Then you have the glass inside. Then you have the thickness of the frame, which is, this is what you see because it's open. The window's open. Now, this is a detail that doesn't have to be there, but it just kind of covers a lot of the window. Not covers, but it gives the window an interesting look. So might as well put it. I'm not trying to be accurate. Not trying like to be architecturally accurate, but it's a good detail to put in there.
And what color did you add to that?
The titanium buff.
Oh, titanium buff. Okay. Okay.
Same colors, but with more titanium buff. Also, what we're going to do the same. Some titanium buff with raw sienna, and let's just put something like this inside. Again, because I don't want to have a plain window pane. This is the thickness of that same window panel from the inside. Now we've done this, all we need to do is add a bit of light inside or a color, so this doesn't look like it's brown. So I am going to make it look like it's reflecting what's inside. So we have yellow light inside, just put it in here, and that will look like a window pane, open glass that's showing what's behind this glass. Again, it's not an important detail. Let's see. Okay. That's all we need. We don't need more than that. Then we will put the shutters in the green around this. Actually, since we're doing that, let's just do the whole frame, window frame. Burnt umber and a bit of the touch of the raw sienna, especially here because it's darker up. It's a lot of shadows from the window. Now in the reference, this part is done in green, like the frame or like the shutters. Once we do the shutters, if we like to add that green in there, then we can add it. These are not very important details. They're just interesting. I'm just kind of darkening this part because it's too light. The titanium buff was, I added too much titanium buff on this. Just keep it like this.
And that was titanium buff, the window frame part.
Titanium buff with
the glass.
Yes, titanium buff. No, it's titanium buff with burnt umber.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, not titanium buff. I'm sorry. Raw sienna with burnt umber. There's no titanium buff.
For the frame?
Oh, for the frame, yeah, there's no
for the window pane, I mean.
Yeah, there's no titanium buff.
Okay.
For the window pane. I know I said I'm not going to touch the curtains, but I'm tempted. So I'm using just raw sienna, like a glaze, and just highlighting some of the folds. With the glaze of raw sienna. Okay. So whatever we are doing inside the window or the window itself is kind of monochromatic, same, nothing, no colors, nothing. And then we start adding the beautiful colors outside on the wall and the window shutters and her as well. So this is kind of a secondary, whatever we're doing right now. It's not the focal point. Although chandelier is looking like a focal point. By the time we do the wall and we finish the outside, the shutters, and we paint her, if we find that the chandelier is too much, then we can glaze it. We'll glaze it and push it back.
Did you do the little frame beside the curtain?
Yes, but it's just with raw sienna and burnt umber.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying maybe next week what we'll do, once we start doing the shutters, maybe we'll put green over this frame and forget about the side of the window and all of that. Just kind of, maybe. We'll see next week how it goes once we start putting the shutters. If we want to see more green around this, all of these colors that we are adding here, we're putting. All right, I'm gonna stop recording. All right, so we're done for this week. Next week we'll start working on the woman on the window or the wall. Start from outside.